Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the KDL. As always, it is Poseidon, joined by Dilly, here for the final nightcap game, Dab Nation versus Akatsuki. Akatsuki just being able to win against World Enders, Dab Nation losing against World Enders. So, if you're predicting, seems like a safe bet to go for the Akatsuki, but hey, it's KDL, anything can happen.
Yeah, but if you bet on DN and they pull out the win, you're gonna win big.
You're going to win big. That's true.
This video, 5 of my friends try.
All right. Someone in the game linked a YouTube video, and it was Dream versus 5 Minecraft Hunters. Love to see that. More people are now linking it. As we are probably going to start this game soon. Once again, Tanner is in the bathroom. But hey, thanks for hanging around, everyone who's watching, all 31 of you. You guys are the best fans in the world, obviously. Coming out and supporting your favorite teams. No, don't hashtag Tanner Poopy Pants. It's definitely not what we need.
I mean,
But yeah.
if it's trending, it's trending. So
Oh, it's trending on
yeah,
Twitter.
yeah.
Damn. Well, can't come back from that, honestly. But if you haven't predicted yet, you can always predict. I don't think we did MVP for that game, but I feel like most people would have picked Exoria, right? I think it's safe to say Exoria was the MVP that game.
Well, after the you could do a poll as well though. Right now, most of the people that were watching last game are still here, so it's not too late to do the poll for last game. I don't think.
Bro, so we already started the prediction. I don't know if we can start the poll.
Oh,
But I have no idea how to do that. So if
well,
someone else wants to,
one of the mods in chat
if
can do a
one of the
poll here after
mods
the
wants to
prediction is
do the
done.
poll real quick, help a brother out, that'd be really helpful. If not, it's fine. But I'm like 90% sure everyone would pick Exoria, just for that really good bot lane TP and just his overall strength that game. Just doing a lot in fights and stuff. As we are going to get into this game in a second. So it looks like the preparations have been made. Amazing. DN on the blue side, Akatsuki on the red side here. So a bit different than last game, switching sides on us. But what do we expect for bans here?
Maybe Irelia. If I'm on the side of DN, I'm looking at an Irelia ban.
Yeah, after you see Xori play like that, maybe you want to ban the Aurelia. Yep, there we go.
Just so smart.
They're just so, I'm glad they're watching. Glad there's some of the 31 viewers out there right now.
I'm not too sure. Probably jungle bans for the most part on the side of Akatsuki towards Grim.
As we do see the Diana ban.
It doubles as a mid lane ban. It doubles as a mid lane ban for Raw because Dab Twice, the mid laner for DN, he's pretty proficient on it.
I'm pretty sure Crim has a couple of games this season on the Diana as well, so it's an overall pretty good ban. This is gonna be interesting to see what they ban next. They ban Gwen. Seems like we're just banning out Exoria right now. Maybe we see a Riven ban after this. That would be fun.
The triple ban. I don't know if we've seen that since last season when Survey Corps triple banned you, Poseidon.
No, that was never lose.
Oh right, it was never. You're right.
I think they banned Udyr, Karthus, and what was the other good tank jungler at the time? Hecarim? Yeah, I think they banned
either Hecarim or Volibear.
Oh no, I played Hecarim. Whatever. They banned 3 junglers. It's all right. It happens to the best of us. As you see the Viego ban coming out now. A little interesting to see that on blue side. Usually you would think blue side would want to first pick it. Maybe
they just have no interest in playing it. Then that's what that tells me. If they don't want to first pick it, or they have something else in mind that they want to first pick.
Yeah. But no Riven ban. So we might see Exoria pull out the Riven. As there was no ban, I think they're doing
That's,
no ban because of last game, the witty banter
Yes.
got a bit too heated for some people.
Time to find out what they prioritize on blue side here.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Could
interesting.
be the Ezreal.
Could be Ezreal. As we do see that Ezreal locked in on the side of Damnation.
Expect to see probably a jungle pick here with AD. That's what I'm expecting from the side of the Akatsuki.
Mm-hmm. Although,
Graves still up.
as we saw last game, Exoria's not afraid to just first pick his top laner. You know, if he thinks there's a really good top laner right now that a lot of people can't deal with, he'll just pick it. As we do see a Thresh pick coming out. Stu's on Thresh again. Woo! Crab Rave. Just a pretty staple pick overall for Stu. Ezreal, the Ezreal matchup for Thresh isn't really the most fun, I would say. I wouldn't be surprised if they pick Felios here. Jhin is a bit surprising. I haven't really seen too much Jhin this season. With Enchanters getting buffed, Jhin just not really having that compatibility with a lot of Enchanter champions.
He's been consistently good this season too, though. Just across like season 11, he's never been like top tier. Not since the preseason, but he's always been a really solid pick, especially into the later stages of the game.
As you see a Blitzcrank pick, Ezreal Blitzcrank versus Jhin Thresh in the bot lane. It's interesting to see Ezreal get paired with Blitzcrank though, just because you wouldn't really expect Ezreal to be a very aggressive level 1-2 champion, sort of where Blitzcrank shines. But interesting to see the pick. I think it might be the first one of the KDL. Maybe someone else picked it in another game that I'm forgetting.
This season, it might be the first one. I know it was played last season for sure, though.
As we do see a Vladimir pick coming out. Vladimir, being able to be flexed between top and mid. I don't know if Raul plays it or not. Vlad top, when Exoria hasn't picked his top laner, though, could be quite destructive. Especially since I think the Riven matchup's pretty bad for Vlad. As we see a Kale instead. People have been hyping up Kale. I know Penelope, our mid laner, has been talking up Kale a little in the past couple days. So it might be interesting to see. I don't know where that's going. But it could be an interesting pick to go into lane with Vladimir. Both of them not really being able to do anything pre-6. So would just be able to farm it out for the most part.
Yeah, it could be top or mid. I'm expecting it though to be angled towards the mid lane.
As we see more Tanner Poopy Pants in the chat. Can we... Okay, there's another one. Alright, very good. Can we get a Tanner Poopy Pants hype train going? Or maybe an emo. Mods, let's get an emo.
Expect to see... You might see jungle bans on both sides here, actually.
Yeah, both sides not picking their jungler yet, as we do see a Jax ban. I haven't seen Exoria play Jax. I don't know about the
matchup. He played it
with
against
Vladimir.
us last season.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Was that the game we won?
Yes.
Alright, so he's banned on it then. Why are they picking it?
No, I think our top laner just gapped him pretty hard that game.
Oh, yeah,
That's all that
true.
happened, yeah.
Our top laner, best top laner in the KDL, jungler, best jungler in the KDL, all the above. As we see a Riven ban coming out. 4 bans for Exoria, and he'll probably still pick a carrot. But, what carries are left? I don't really know what he would pick here.
It's going to be interesting to see. He might take the kill himself at this point, but...
So Karthus is over Kindred.
it's either going to be Kale top or we might see Exoria on a tank this game potentially because they don't really have a front line. They don't really have engage other than Thresh Q, so
Yeah, and especially if you're going to be picking all of this really squishy champions, you know, Kindred and Kale would love to just stand behind like an Ornn or a Maokai. But, or even a Galio. Put the Kale top, pick Galio mid.
yep, both of them are good options.
All good options. As we see Kha'Zix picked. Kha'Zix, you know, probably has a pretty good matchup into the Kindred. Kindred being an ADC jungler, Kha'Zix being an AD assassin. Could very easily just kill Tarim over and over again. You know, Tarim being a little upset over last game, might still be a little tilted and might just die a lot to Kha'Zix, so we'll have to see. As we see Fiora picked, so it is going to be Vlad mid with Fiora top as, oh my god, Exoria has picked Dr. Mundo.
I can't remember the last time I saw him play a tank. That should be good.
It's been a while. This is interesting though, because there isn't really any CC for him to block besides Thresh hook, Blitzcrank hook, obviously. So I don't know if I'm of the camp that it's a good pick because they have no CC, or of the camp that like it's a bad thing because then he's not getting that passive heal, like in trades and stuff.
I think having no CC on the side of DN actually plays a pretty big part. He's not going to be able to be hooked by Blitzcrank, but you don't really want that if you're the Blitzcrank anyway. And I think Fiora is a pretty good matchup into Dr. Mundo. I don't know the matchup that well, but just based off, you know, basic kits, I feel like Fiora definitely has the advantage in top lane.
Mm-hmm. Did I just like... Oh, here we go. So we're gonna do a 3-minute spectator delay. Keep with us. As always, you're watching the KDL.
There's no time for redemption. Those flags you wave, will they hold up? Don't cry for your vengeance.
As here we are on the load screen, Corporate Mundo, of course, lots of friggin' legendary skins on the side of the Akatsuki. Aetherwing Kale, Corporate Mundo, and Dark Cosmic Jin. So already winning the skin game.
They get that buff from Riot.
Yeah, that ruined the money buff. No wonder they haven't lost. They just have too many good skins. As the Summoner's Rift is dark. And now it's light. And everyone should be loading in a second. And here they are. The side of Dev Nation. We got some good skins here. We got IG Fiora, definitely not Blitzcrank. Nightbringer Vladimir, the TFT skin. And Mecha Kha'Zix, and then the Prestige Ezreal skin. So, you know, can't go that bad. As we do see them trying to go for an invade. Stu is going to be there, though. Probably going to see them walking up into this, so not really going to be able to get anything. Yep. As he just goes for the ward. I don't think they see that he warded it, actually. And they're going to leave.
The time of man has come.
And you'll be fine. That's not a guarantee, by the way.
So, which lane matchup are you most interested in this game, Dilly? Is it once again bot lane? Or perhaps this top lane matchup where Exoria did go common?
Kinda, yeah, that is. He's gonna be throwing lots of cleavers. I'm kind of interested in the top lane matchup, the Fiora and the Mundo. I think that's gonna be a good one to look at here. I think bot lane is either gonna be, you know, you land a hook, you take the fight, or both supports just keep whiffing hooks, and you know, both ADs keep farming.
Another interesting summoner pick. We got Crimson on the Conqueror, and we have the Blitzcrank Rocket is on Guardian this game. Interesting to see. I feel like most Blitzcranks would go Aftershock, just sort of with the way his kit works. But nonetheless, Guardian is also reasonable. Matches Stu's Guardian on Thresh. As this mid lane is just going to be a farm fest. You know, both of them not really going to be able to do much in the early game. Sort of the way Tanner likes it. His lane's nice, not much going on, pretty boring. As the Comet does land off that Invective Bonesaw. Pretty upset that they changed the name from Infected Cleaver to Invective Bonesaw, but hey, you know, you gotta get with the times.
It is what it is. Unfortunately, you know, things change. Interesting too, we have the Dark Harvest on the Jhin. I know that's pretty popular for Jhins. I personally prefer the Fleet Footwork still. I just really like the bonus move speed, especially when you're trying to avoid like hooks from the Blitzcrank. I think it'd be pretty good here.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how the Dark Harvest goes for him.
A little movement speed from Fleet. You know, I've always, you know, I play a lot of Jhin in my time not playing jungle and support. You know, if I ever play ADC, I'm usually playing Jhin or Lucian. And since Lucian's been bad for a while, I play Jhin. I've sort of been liking the Dark Harvest, especially since usually with Gale Force and Collector, you're just going for a one-shot. But I can see Fleet being good as well.
I think a lot of it depends on the lane matchup as well.
For sure. As, you know, unsurprisingly, a game where there's very little CC, no one's really trying to do much right now. We might see a fight around this early scuttle, as Exoria does have pressure topside, but Tarim is already on him. Most likely going to be able to pick that scuttle up as soon as it spawns. I wonder if it gave him a mark. It did not. So bot scuttles the mark. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he's able to get that. That is where the first fight is going to happen. As Tarim does jump into that Tides of Blood, the leap comes in. Tarim going to have to flash out. A bit of an interesting flash. You know, Kha'Zix not really having much burst after that. But now, Flash, it's going to be a little spooky for him to go for this scuttle as the rocket grab whiffs. But, you know, now, since he flashed mid, you know, just sort of pressured off the scuttle by this Kha'Zix. Sort of how you expected the early levels to go with these two junglers. Kha'Zix just exerting a little more pressure, having a little more damage. Level 3. So is going to clean up that scuttle.
Yeah, we see the Cleaver just doing work with the Comet in the top lane right now.
Bit of a CS discrepancy, but the wave is pushing back into Exoria right now. Is using his E. The Heart Zapper comes out. Another Cleaver hits. Gets the flash out of Fiora. Fiora just sort of underestimating the Mundo damage there. You know, his E still has that if you're lower, he has more AD thing. So it's a bit scary, as we do see Kha'Zix is most likely going to walk into the Kindred right now. Kindred does use her W and Q over the wall, so not much happening there. But it seems like Exoria is going to take this recall. The wave is pushing into Fiora, so I would like to see... Yeah, this is good. She's recalling. Actually, this wave is pretty even. It's tough to say who's going to push into. Mundo is TPing back, so will most likely push into Fiora. I would like to see her save that TP, as Mundo doesn't have the most clear speed. Both of them going for heal cut first thing in this lane, though.
Makes for a very fun lane.
Surprised on the side of Fiora, you know, with him not having grasp, he doesn't really heal too much without his ultimate. But I guess since level 6 is coming out first, coming pretty close, not surprising to see them go for that. As we do see Akatsuki just sort of has a CS advantage in most places. You know, mid lane's pretty even right now in CS with Raul backing. But you know, a 15 CS discrepancy in bot lane just straight up from just laning overall.
Yeah,
you know, Code just being a pretty proficient laner, just getting most of the CS overall.
Yeah, he if he's just left alone, he'll get every minion pretty much. The blitz hooks haven't been connecting yet. There's been a few close calls, but none of them have landed yet.
So you see everyone's taking their first recall right now. Jin did buy the Noon Quiver. Mid lane's pretty even. One side going for boots, one side going for daggers. We do see Raul walking in. Tides of Blood will land onto the Kale. Mounting Dread is used on Raul, but he will use the Sanguine Pole to get out of there. So no harm, no foul. Back to farming for the Vladimir. As we do see Fiora taking this trade. The Heart Zapper's used, but you know, Fiora not doing much else in terms of the trade. Good trade for her overall, chunking the Mundo to half. You know, now having the Grand Challenge, could easily go for a kill here, or pop the Mundo's ult and go for the kill, and force him to back.
Yeah, she probably wants to wait for, and that's a much better mark placement for the Fiora on the left side there. It was on the back side of Mundo before. Much easier to hit when it's there. He's going to back here though, so not much else going to happen top lane. Fiora's going to clear that wave and then back themselves probably.
While that was going on, Tarim did collect his first mark of the game. It was the bot scuttle, and he was able to secure that with Crimson not being on the map. Crimson looks like he's going to go for a core drinker this game, as we do see an engage happening bot. The Thresh Lantern is used. The flash expended from both bot laners, so pretty unlucky on the hook there, but overall a pretty good play, pretty good pressure from the side of Dab Nation, you know, getting these flashes out of the side of the Akatsuki. We just sort of have to see them starting to make plays off of these, as we do see the Kindred mark is on Gromp. Would like to see the Fiora go up to defend it, as Kindred is on the way, most likely is going to get this mark. As we do see her instead going for this pretty poor trade overall, as the Cleaver does land, he does pop the ultimate. Grand Challenge is used, and both sides are going to back off, but Fiora now in a really bad spot as the Kindred is behind. The Death Sentence does land, the Jin W follow-up will connect as well, but not much else there going on. As now, you know, Nixori just pushing the Fiora off the wave, and now that she's going to have to back, he does get the pressure, Hex Slash into that push.
I think the Mundo could have got the kill top lane there. I'm not sure what made him back off.
He's a little scared of the Grand Challenge, as we do see the Hemoplate comes out mid. Not much else happening there, though. Both ults used. Overall, better trade for Raul, though, as his ult is a lower cooldown.
CS in the bot lane looking much better now from the side of DN as well. They're not down nearly as much. They've picked that up quite a bit. They're only down about 3 or 4 CS now compared to the 15 to 20.
He is looking for a gank here onto Tanner. Tanner sort of sniffing this out here. Oh, not actually. He's going to back here. Ooh, they're lurking. Tanner does have flash though, so would have to be a one-shot for the Kha'Zix to get this kill. He is
flash,
looking
no
for it. Wave is finally pushed in. Crimson spending a lot of time here. Does pop his ult, but Tanner just running towards his jungle now, using the blast cone. and then flashing away. Tarim is able to jump over that wall, but they do get Tanner's flash. And the mark is here. Kindred most likely not going to be able to get that mark. But good pressure again by Crimson. You know, they've gotten 4 flashes this game. The issue is they just haven't been able to do much. As we do see a trade coming top lane, both sides now like under a quarter. The Mundo E though might just kill Fiora outright. As you do see Kindred pathing up there.
Yeah, they're gonna look for the dive on this top tower.
Oh, the flash by
flash
Fiora. She gets the
forward.
first blood. Oh, and he started taking turret because of his Bramble Vest. Well played.
That was very well played by the Fiora.
As Ezreal's standing a little too far up, you gotta flash that W. The Deadly Flourish lands. The curtain call, the 4th shot connects. Just a miscommunication there between Rocket and his ADC. You know, just backing, thinking he was going to be safe, but Ezreal just not respecting the death sentence into Deadly Flourish. As we see, Fiora is taking this 1v1 here. The mounting dread, the red smite comes out. Q is definitely up again, so we'll probably just clean up this kill right here. Good Q by Tarim. Did have to use the flash though, and red smite. So once again, another flash used, but Tarim does get the kill. I don't know if that was a mark, but he might be on 2 marks now.
It was a mark, yeah.
It was a mark. So he is on 3 marks. 3 marks, I think, is a pretty good spot for 11 minutes into the game. I think you start getting bonus range every 3 marks on Kindred. I could be wrong.
It's every 4 marks.
It's every 4 marks, so he's right there.
Or I think it's 4 for the first one, and then 3 everyone after that.
Yeah, that might be it.
I'm not a Kindred player. I'm not sure. I know Stu is a very proficient Kindred player. If he wasn't playing, he could tell us. But
for sure. But yeah, the gold's still pretty even. Fiora now getting that first blood is pretty handily up against the Mundo top lane. Mundo looking like he's going for Warmogs first, or could be going for Thorn Mail. We'll have to see. He did pick up a Kindle Gem and a Giant's Belt there on that back.
And we see a bit of a vision differential too, as you see pink wards and control wards in everybody's inventory except the supports on the side of the Akatsuki as well. So they're doing a good job at keeping vision on the map as well.
Yeah, you can see they got wards littered around this bot lane river. It's gonna be hard for Crimson to walk in here and not be spotted. Does spot the pink ward though, will end up clearing it. But the mark is top lane. That is Tarim's 4th mark. It's a pretty big one to get. Raul looking to see if he can contest it, but I don't think there's much he can do, as Tarim does pick up that mark. Raul already level 10 though, so is a pretty big threat. Tanner and Tarim will have to respect him, especially since he does have the Ionian boots already. But while that was going on, Crimson did get first dragon, so good job by him, seeing that Tarim was going to go top for that mark and being able to get something on the other side of the map.
Yeah, noticed them on the mark on the top side, and realizes, oh, should do the dragon here. They have 2 pink wards in the dragon pit on the side of DN in the dragon pit, so you know for sure that there's no vision in there.
Yeah, definitely know that there's no vision, as we just see more trading coming out from Fiora onto Mundo, being able to dodge on these bone saws. Really good job overall, as we do see that they've noticed that Tarim is doing the Rift Herald. They are probably going to be able to pick this up, as Tarim did have to leave. Really good job by Raul, expending the Hemoplague, but getting Rift Herald right now is pretty significant. Did go to Crimson. We'll be curious to see if they use it right now to pick up some turret plates, with turret plates falling in 20 seconds, but it looks like right now it is not going to happen.
Yeah, he's probably going to look to use it after trying to pull off a gank, and then uncontested just drop it in the lane. He might look towards bot or mid here. Mid's flashes up sooner, not bot, sorry, mid or top here, because both of them still have flash down, although Tanner's is up pretty soon.
There's once again not much really happening mid, except that Tanner is down 20 CS against this Vladimir right now. Kale just being melee champion until level 6. a CS discrepancy can be acquired there. As Vlad is pretty annoying for melee champs to deal with. Not as annoying as when Kleptomancy was in the game. That's annoying.
Seeing some pretty standard builds on both sides here. Look, other than the Gore Drinker on the Kozlik, that's still an interesting build in my opinion. I haven't seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that, so I'm interested to see how that plays out for Krim.
Yeah, I think he thinks since his team doesn't have the biggest front line, will need to be a little tankier in these fights. To be able to hold his own against the Mundo and the Thresh. Probably gonna need the Gore Drinker to survive for longer. And actually, it is not a Warmog's top, it is an Anathema's Chains. Most likely did end up anathemizing his lane opponent, as we see here. Yes, Fjord does have the Anathema's Chains debuff on her. Again, Anathema's Chains is a pretty good item.
Yeah, it is definitely good into a split pusher like a Fiora as well if you're just trying to match them the whole game.
Especially for this part of the game, when you're really just trading with her. An overall good item. Just to lower her damage. But Fjord does do true damage, so I don't know if it would lower that. Not entirely sure on that interaction.
I don't believe anything in the game lowers true damage.
Right?
Yeah, I believe true damage is just true. Always goes through.
True.
Yeah. The more I think about the Gore Drinker on the Kha'Zix too into this team, the more I'm like, yeah, I think it's pretty good here because the Mundo obviously is going to live for a long time, but the Kindred ult and the Kale ult is also going to keep Krim from one-shotting people if he went just a one-shot build, right? So the longer he's going to be in there fighting and the more he can heal, I can see it definitely working out for him.
Yeah, I mean, probably also don't need all that lethality to one-shot a Kindred or a Jhin. So, being a little tankier overall is probably going to be better for him.
We've seen pings there on the bot lane on the side of DN. They might be looking to make something happen here. Although Krim seems to be passing the top side. Or just going down mid, actually.
As you see, the Hemoplague is used mid. Tides of Blood and the Q will land, but just a little bit of poke there onto Tanner. Tanner now at half health. Might have to recall. Did go for the Nashor's Tooth first. Pretty standard build. As Crimson, not really able to do much with the Rift Herald, is just dropping a bot lane now. Sort of sad to see. Wish he was able to do more. That as the curtain call comes out. Why am I watching that when I could be watching the people actually getting shot? Thank you, directed camera. As both sides trade a little bit in bot lane, no one dies to the curtain call.
Nope, that was more so just to dissuade them from pushing with the Rift Herald. And it did its job. The Rift Herald died before it was able to hit the tower.
Yeah, good ult use by Code there. As we do see the dragon is spawning, or is there. As the death sentence does land on Crimson. Crimson does just get one shot. Hemoplague not on the Vlad, just not as threatening in that bush. As we might see the Grand Challenge, we do see the Mundo ult come out here. So overall, pretty well played from Fiora. Now having the ultimate advantage, might be able to do something against Mundo if he continues to stay up there. But inside of the Akatsuki does clean up this Ocean Dragon. And not much else really happening. No turrets really in danger. Everybody's just kind of chilling, farming. Not much else really going on. As we do see the hook on Tanner. Death sentence goes wide. Tanner is looking to kill Raoul. Ooh. How much health did he have? He lived, but he tanked the turret shot.
Yeah, it didn't look like that turret shot did a whole lot of damage. Maybe he healed at the same time.
Yeah, too many fights happen at the same time. So we see Ezreal just sort of walk into Jhin here, no mana. I don't know why Crimson's down here. They can't really do anything with Ezreal having no mana.
No. Ezreal no mana, the waves coming in so Blitz can't hook them. Not a whole lot of playmaking potential there.
So we do see the Fiora does have the level advantage, but oh, does go for the grand challenge. Mundo does have his ultimate up again though. What the heck? As the cleaver does connect. And a solo kill there for Mundo. I guess Fiora was a little bit surprised, like the rest of us, that that ultimate was up again. You know, really only using that what, like 30 seconds ago?
I think it was about a minute and a half ago at this point.
If I guess things have been going on, so it felt like
Yeah.
a little shorter. But yeah, I'm sort of surprised that it was up again.
And Ezreal just barely lived in the bot lane here. He lived with must have been 15 HP.
Yeah, Mundo takes the first turret of the game. I think Zoria, you know, not really known for these tag picks, but shows that he can pick them when he needs to. Crimson just, you know, sort of keeps trying to do stuff bot lane, but has been unsuccessful. It's been interesting to see him try to go for these ganks too, especially since Ezreal had no mana the last few times he showed up. Tarim does get the wolf, and basically one-shots Crimson. Gets the kill, Kha'Zix's flash, Tarim on 7 marks now as Kindred. Raul walking into 2 enemies, will end up dying here most likely. Oh, both Invuln ults used at the same time. The Hemoplague does come out, barely saves him. As we do see the Divine Judgment and the Lamb's Respite used at the same time. Sort of a misplay there from both of them, but, you know, good job by Raul being able to get out of that. But, you know, a game that not much was happening in. Now 4K gold deficit for the side of Damnation at 20 minutes. You know, just sort of getting 1v1s all across the map now at this point.
Yeah, we're seeing a pretty big CS gap in the jungle as well as the bot lane right now. But then on the side of DN, we also have a pretty big CS gap in the mid lane. So it evens out a bit. Mundo was able to get the first tower though, and that's a lot of gold as well.
You know, this Blitzcrank just hasn't really been able to do much on the side of Rocket, as we do see it is a 4v4 bot lane. Crimson does jump on Tarim top. Tarim not having the Lamb's Respite. They will get the shutdown. Both top laners did TP down to this. We might see a 3v3 happen, but it looks like the side of the Akatsuki is just going to disengage. They do get the shutdown on Tarim, and all they had to trade was the Blitzcrank. You know, it seems pretty worth to me.
Yeah, definitely anything that DN can get at this point is worth, as long as they don't stick around too long here.
As Crimson does a good job of tanking the curtain call for Fiora. Ezreal did have to use his flash there. Ezreal just getting hit by a lot of these skill shots. Just Arcane shifting a bit too late and too often in straight lines. It's like I feel like that's the 3rd time I've seen him E straight back and get hit by a deadly flourish.
I haven't been paying too close attention, but I will take your word for it.
Not particularly wanted to when both bot laners have straight line skill shots. But, you know, Crimson does hit level 11, and looks like he went for... as the hook goes wide, what did he evolve? He's got evolved hooks. Does he have the oh no, he
Q
evolved
and
this
E.
There you go, you evolved this one. Oh, this is way too wide for no reason. Sorry about that. As we do see, Mundo is now sitting in mid lane. Is going to go for that Sunfire Aegis for his Mythic. Not surprising, since he is most likely just going to be in long extended fights with the Fiora. He did go for the North Anchor. As Dragon is spawning in 7 seconds, Akatsuki does have the pressure to do it. Might see a hook come out from Blitzcrank. Tarim barely able to dodge it. As Mundo now just exerting so much pressure. No one really on Damnation's side being able to damage him right now. You know, Fiora being behind, Ezreal not having access to that Serelda's yet. The Mundo just being pretty tanky and a pretty big wall for the side of Akatsuki.
Yeah, he's virtually unkillable at this point, unless it's a 1v5.
As you do see the Grand Challenge come out. Good dodge there. The stun goes wide because it goes where he pleases from the Mundo. As we do see the curtain call come out, Blitzcrank most likely will die here to the 4-shot. Double kill for the side of Jin. As we see the Divine Judgment come out as well. Raul running for his life, but does not have access to that swing pool. Double kill for both ADCs on the side of the Akatsuki. Most likely going to end up going for this Baron right here. As now they're up 8k gold, and It's looking like pretty dire straits right now for the side of Damnation. You know, not really being able to do anything early game. Just getting flashes, not really being able to capitalize on them with the Blitzcrank and the Kha'Zix. And now, you know, the Akatsuki just being in such an advantageous position. It looks like they're just going to cruise to their 8th win of the season.
Sixth win.
Seven.
Six.
Seven. They just won.
Six.
They just won.
Yes, but they had 4 wins before that. They have this will be, if they win this one, it'll be their 6th win, and then they still have to play GME, which would be their 7th last game.
Are there only 8 teams?
Yep.
Okay, I'm done. All right, this will be their 6th win. And amen. As Dilly, what do you think Damnation can do to get back into this game?
Normally I would say they need to prolong the game to get their items, but if they prolong this game, you know, Kale's gonna hit level 16, Kindred's gonna get more marks. These champions scale really hard, Jin included. Mundo's already really hard to kill. He's a really good frontliner right now. I don't know, they just gotta get some picks, I think, with the Blitzcranker on the map. He's gotta find some angles and find some hooks.
You know, Tarim has 10 marks in 25 minutes, a pretty good spot for him. Gale Force in. See you later, Rocket.
Yeah, that's not the pick I meant. I meant Blitz getting a pick on somebody.
Cast a curse.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Rocket.
As we do see Mundo tech that turret, but he doesn't really care. Actually, didn't Exoria have the Aegis of the Legion? And he decided to go for Frostfire. So he sold Aegis and then just bought Frostfire. A bit interesting, but you know, it doesn't really matter. You know, you're up so much more. I guess you could be a little inefficient and just sell items for fun. As Tarim does get engaged on here, the Lancer Spike comes out, Mundo's walking in. This looks like a bad fight. Mundo is just walking straight at this Vladimir. Vladimir able to get out. Crimson not having leaf though, flashes over the wall, almost kills Tarim. Fourth shot most likely going to land on Ezreal. Good arcane shift, but arcane shift straight into the Mundo. Mundo getting his passive up. Mundo now hitting the bone saw. Double kill for the Mundo. As we do see 3 people on the side of TN die, as every inhib is now under fire. There's over a 10k gold lead at this point. It looks like they're going to be 6-0. There's not much else the side of Damnation can do here. The Divine Ascension comes out. Will save Tanner. As we do see the Proto Belt used, but it will not matter. Somebody left the game early. Scumbag, whoever that was. You know, from this perspective, it looks like DN won.
True.
Overall.
Give the win to DN.
Yeah, good win from DN. Akatsuki, a little tough. They got their first loss. You hate to see it. All 5 of them into the Nexus for the rest of the game, and DN won. Seems good to me. As we are going... I didn't see... No, you definitely had an Aegis. There's no way. You know what? We're going to rewind. I swear I saw you have an Aegis before we get to this.
I think they're joking, Poseidon. I think they're just saying, like...
Aha! Oh, they're saying... Ah, okay.
Yeah, they're
Very
joking.
funny. Very funny. It's like, I swear you had an Aegis. Exposed on stream. But I bet you he did the most damage on his team. Second most damage on his team. Alright. Overall, well played by Akatsuki. We are going to get Damnation in here first. Tough night for them. Grim damage, a little sussy. Okay. We are going to get Damnation in here first to talk about their 2 losses. So let's get them in here. Oh my god, if I can only find my Discord.
Oh, okay.
You're in here with me now. You sussy jungler.
Uh,
He's the captain now.
Mhm.
Yo, my footage. I'm not quite sure what happened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, some little susters took over my mouse. I went Mecha Kazakhs, no, don't jump. And it didn't go my
This
way.
Crim one.
Uh, yeah, Crim one, unlucky.
Mhm.
I need to go,
Yeah.
hit the board. I need to go watch some Taifu, Kazakhs videos, some Sire Kazakhs videos. Kindred was dugging on, or Taram rather, was dugging on my whole life. You already know me. I have an affinity towards Kindred, so I was kind of getting worked up slash flustered. Like it was a heated game. It's not really that hot right now, but I can assure you it was pretty hot in my gaming area when I saw that Kindred. Especially the Spirit Blossom Kindred. Like I don't know, and the
Uh-huh. All right.
juice.
I'm gonna stop you.
You should have stopped him a long time ago.
Yeah, I wanted to let him go for a little. So guys, a tough games overall, going 0-2. What was your guys? Were you guys surprised that Exoria pulled out the Mundo? Because I honestly was.
The Poke Mundo, yeah. I was not expecting him to go Poke Mundo.
Yeah, with the comet.
Yeah, that was fun to play against. I'm just happy I killed him.
Mm-hmm.
I killed him once. I was very happy with
And you
that.
guys killed Taram too. How did it feel to kill Taram once?
Honestly, it felt really good. Obviously, telling by my stats, you would never have been able to tell I was the one who killed him. 50% KP, not bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
sort of interested in your gore drinker build overall. Is this something you normally do, or was it just sort of like because of their team comp?
no, this is actually the number one build right now. Like, this is actually the highest win rate on Kazakhs, which has like 53% win rate. So what you do is you go Gore Drinker into more so like a sustainable skirmisher with Black Cleaver. I suppose it would have been way better this game, especially seeing how a lot of them are kind of squishy early on. My mindset though was I kind of knew he was going to go precision just because we do have a Blitz and a Vlad, and Kindred is going to be a sustainable fighter. And so obviously if I'm dropping off with either Electrocute or Dark Harvest early, I don't think that there's a lot of sustenance there for me to carry over. And plus, like Stu, like I respect the hell out of AKT because there's no one part that doesn't know what you're gonna do. And so for me at least, I was kind of worried about if I was able to get an E upgrade or like even assassinate, right? That's a huge what if scenario. But if I got a Duskblade proc, I'm worried about Stu kind of canceling out my E with a Flay or something else like that. And so the Duskblade doesn't really go for me. Obviously, damage-wise, Scoredrinker did not do anything. But I realistically don't think any itemization would have done any better, to be honest with you. Like, Taram was crip walking and dugging. Like, I legitimately thought that he was starting to limp in certain areas, but it was just his, right leg just kind of sagging a little bit, and he was just kind of, finding his groove. And I noticed some little shoulder switches on that Kindred Chroma, because Kindred is just like
Yeah, okay, this is where we
Okay,
cut him
great.
off. This
Okay,
is where we...
great. Yeah, I'm very glad. All right, Crimson's not allowed to talk for the rest of the interviews. The rest of Damnation. It's tough to lose both games today, but you guys do have one more game, right? Who's it against?
Jujutsu
Jujutsu
Tech.
Tech. Yeah.
Jujutsu Tech. How do you guys feel going into that game? I heard their support, specifically who is probably not that good a player.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely he's
you
not.
yeah,
you said that not us. You said that not
yeah,
Oh
us.
no,
yeah.
I
You said that
well,
not
You
us.
guys are
here's the
We never
saying
thing.
that
said
he's
that.
not good
No, whoa, whoa,
because,
whoa, whoa.
I
You're not
think
allowed
he
to talk,
might,
remember?
he's been talking a lot about who the best player in the KDL is, but, I would be under the impression that he might be the
Well,
worst player in the KDL.
let's just put it this way, right? He's the best player on that team, but he's not very good. So let's see what that
So
says
you
about
guys
their
think it
team.
should be an easy clap?
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right. I like the confidence. And obviously your first game was a bit closer than this one. Just sort of tough to see you guys lose. What happened in that first game? What was your? I can't.
We just
you guys
didn't.
drafted all.
We Yeah, we kind of just had good fights, early skirmishes, and
Mhm.
that's it. And then I got caught out pretty often, and then anytime we had a lead, we just didn't push it. We just took neutral objectives instead of map objectives, and not getting any map objectives kind of closed off the map for us slowly, and we weren't able to do anything from that point on because I was playing Thresh, and even though we're looking for picks, their team fights were way more explosive because they had Diana and Leona. So just
Mhm.
what happens.
Yeah. All right. Dilly, do you have any questions?
I think you covered everything, Poseidon.
All right. Well,
I think I'll be taking my talents to Valorant.
yes. KVL. When's it coming back,
No, no,
Nave?
no. No, not KVL. Bronze.
KVL.
No, Bronze
KV.
3 Valorant. It's time.
KVL.
If
I
you
don't
thought
even
my
know if he's
damage
still
was bad
watching.
this game, if you thought my damage was this bad, just wait till you see me in Valorant.
All right. Well, thank you, Dab Nation, for joining us, and I wish you luck in your final game this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As now we are going to talk to the Akatsuki. Won both of their games tonight. Pretty cool for them. Pretty sussy boys, especially that Stu. So let's get them in here. As I'm going to pull them in now.
Yeah, and I would totally let Kindred just. Oh my.
No.
Yeah,
We're
he
not
has an
talking
affinity for
about
Kindred as well.
Kindred.
Dude,
Alright.
Kindred.
What the hell is wrong with you people? Alright, the interview's over now. So hey, you guys won both games. That seems pretty cool. Victoria, so I want to pick your brain on the Mundo pick. Have you been playing it at all, or
No.
Oh, you just were like, all right, well, Mundo seems good.
Yeah, my team was like, we need frontline. I was like, I don't play frontline, so I just like decided to play Mundo because I saw him in an LCS game and he's like kind of fun.
All right, that's fair. But you did dominate on that Aurelia game. Sort of interested to see your opinion on where the changes have left her, whether or not you think she's really good.
She's incredibly good. Like,
Broken.
I don't. Yeah, I think she's like hotfix worthy. Honestly, like she's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
She scales too hard now, especially with the damage reduction. Like she doesn't get blown up in team fights anymore.
She just looks broken.
All right. This question's for Tanner. Tanner, you did get solo killed in that first game. Were you just sort of
Dude.
surprised that you had to fight someone in lane, and that's why you died, or was this?
So I thought if I ulted him away while he W'd, it would work. It didn't work.
It didn't work. You were in.
It didn't work at all. It didn't work at all. I was like, this will be genius brain. He's gonna W. I'll ult him out of it. And I died, and I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny.
And Tarim, that steal in the first game too, looking it was a little tough getting in there, smiting pretty early.
Yeah. Before I jumped or flashed over the pit, I thought the drag was over. When I E'd back in, I wasn't really paying attention to the HP, so I just prematurely smited. But yeah, that was my mistake.
And then what was I gonna say? Yeah, a little heated during that first game. So you guys didn't take a van this game. Was that as a result of the first game antics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Taramigo, you know.
Tanner, Tarim, what do you have to say to your fans? You know, people were like, my Tarim couldn't be this aggressive with people.
I don't have fans, bro. All I got are haters.
Then he's like a
and
dog.
Many people are talking in the KDL how you might be the second best jungler. You know, a lot of people giving the first place to the ABD jungler. You know, he just seems really good. You know, able to win 1v1s against you. What are your thoughts going into your guys' final game and playoff run? Do you see anyone being able to contest you as much as he has?
Honestly, like I can admit he's probably the second best jungler in the tourney. Yeah, he's pretty, decent at most. You know, all the junglers in this server are not the best, so yeah, it's not that much competition. Yeah, the gap between first and second is pretty large, with me being first, of course. But eventually, you're supporting me, right? Honestly, props to you being like second best jungler here. But even though the first place and second place gap is like unbelievably large, you know, it's pretty good. Props to you, man. Props to you.
Stu, so the MVP poll ended. 6 people voted in it. But you won.
Sure.
But you won. What are your thoughts? Do you think people should stop giving you Thresh and Alistar? I'm sort of surprised that they gave you Alistar in that first game,
Yeah, I
particularly.
mean, honestly, I feel bad for people who have to play against me because my champ pool is just
Stu ego.
no ego. Like I
Ego.
play like at least 3 to 4 champs like really well, so they can't ban them all. And a lot of people have been banning my Thresh, so I was able to play this game. But it's like banning supports is really hard. You have to have a game plan in mind in order to ban specific supports. So it's kind of hard for them.
And the kale. The
Mhm.
kale was really good, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, I thought the Carol pick was excellent.
Yeah. I'm a freak on kale. I don't know if you know that, but
Yeah, you
I'm
looked
I
pretty.
might be statistically the best kale in the KDL. I don't know. You can check my
okay.
stats. but-
You might be the only Cal.
I am.
But thank you guys. You guys have one more game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
GME.
versus
But
GME.
I don't know what's
Okay.
happening because we have to play on like Monday, Tuesday, but they can't play on Monday, Tuesday, so we're gonna have to figure something out.
All right, we'll make up an 8th day of the week that you guys can play. Don't
Yep.
worry.
Yeah, June's Day,
June's
8 p.m. Be
8
there.
p.m. on June's Day. Well, thank you guys. Always great to hear from the second jungler in the league, second best jungler in the league. And wish you guys well in the rest of your games for this season and your inevitable playoff run.
Thanks, gamer.
Thanks, Gaber.
Thank you for the.
He's not allowed to finish that. All right, Dilly. Your thoughts on today's game? Any notable surprises or anything?
I think all games were pretty close to start. Had some solid back and forth both ways in the beginning. Akatsuki obviously pulled ahead in both of their games, but they weren't just straight up stomps from the beginning, so they kept it interesting for us.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching the KDL. For me and Dilly, thanks for joining us tonight. If you aren't in the KDL Discord, join it. It's pretty fun. You'll be able to see when the matches happen, especially in the official games tab, where there are going to be more games later this week. 2 already scheduled for July 15th, which I think is Thursday.
Yes.
Right? Amazing.
One of them's up.
And one of them is us when we act up against Jujutsu Tech and we initiate our Camp Who strategy. But thanks for watching. As always, you're always watching the KL, and have a good night.